And listen to this. That is ridiculous. Come with me because we're about to make the best seafood dish and I'm gonna make you think outside the box. Today we're making stuffed calamari. Let's get started. So to get started on our stuffed squid, we need to make the filling. So what I have here is leftover lobster meat from last night. It was Friday during Lent and we don't eat meat, we only eat fish. So I made lobsters and I have some left over, so this is the perfect way to use leftover lobster. So we're just gonna take our lobster pieces and we're gonna chop them up pretty fine in a very nice dice, a small dice. Okay, like about that big, like the size of a pea. Now that our lobster meat is all diced up, I have a bowl here with 15 ounces of ricotta cheese that I drained really well overnight. And I'm just gonna take the lobster meat and put it in here. And set this aside. To this, we're gonna add in some pepper, some salt, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. Some Parmigiano-Reggiano cheese. I don't want to hear the cheese and fish police in my comment section. It's good, do it. Then we're going to add in 1 egg, some dried parsley, and a little bit of shredded mozzarella cheese. And we're just going to get this all mixed together. But be gentle here because you don't want the lobster to turn to mush. Now that we have our mixture all mixed up, and look at the studs of lobster meat in there. It's impossible for that not to be good. I have a mason jar that has a piping bag inside of it just to hold the piping bag while I fill it with the mixture. You don't have to do this. You can use a spoon if you want, but it's just much easier, I think, to fill the squid tubes with a piping bag. And make sure you spill it all over your table. That's important. So once we have our piping bag full of our filling mixture, we need to cut a hole. Now remember, you have chunks. Can you see the chunks of lobster meat in there? So you want to cut your hole big enough that if a bigger chunk of lobster comes out of the tip, it's not going to make a blockage. Okay, so now I have my squid tubes, and I'm just going to insert the piping bag into the opening like that, and I'm just going to give it a good squeeze. Now you want to fill it about 3/4 of the way full because you want to leave a little bit of room for expansion. So then I just take a toothpick and I go in one side all the way through like that, and then fold it over, and you have your tube all secured. Now the filling won't ooze out. And now we're just gonna fill all these up and put them to the side, and I'll show you the next step. So all of our calamari tubes are filled and secured. So now we need our dredging station. So I have flour, egg, and breadcrumbs, Panko breadcrumbs. So I'm just gonna go down the line here, adding salt and pepper to each one. And then to the flour and the breadcrumbs, I'm gonna add onion powder and garlic powder. And to the breadcrumbs, I'm gonna add in some dried parsley. So now I'm just gonna mix all of the herbs and spices together, and the flour, the same thing. Okay, and now that we mixed up all of our dry ingredients, now we can do our wet. Just whisk up those eggs. So now we're gonna take our tubes, we're gonna dredge it in the flour, make sure all the sides are coated, shake off the excess into our egg, and then right into our breadcrumbs. Give it a good pat. Then we're gonna take each one and we're gonna lay it on a sheet that has a wire rack on it, just so that we let the air dry it a little bit before we start frying it. Now all of our calamari is breaded, stuffed. So now what do we have to do? We have to fry it. So this is the same technique you would use as if you were frying a chicken cutlet. You're just gonna heat your oil to between 350 and 365, and then you're gonna fry them for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, or until they're crispy and golden brown. So our oil is at temperature. We're gonna start frying up our stuffed calamari. So one very important thing, you need to make sure your oil is at temperature because you don't wanna overcook the calamari because it'll become rubbery and tough, and that's not what we're looking for. We did this work. We want it to be soft, we want it to be succulent, and we want to enjoy this as it should be. So I test my oil with a thermometer, and again, we want it at between 350 and 365. We're at 370, but that's okay because the second we put these in, the temperature of the oil is going to go down. Our stuffed calamari is done, and listen to this. Crispy. I already served myself up one because I am super excited to taste this. Oh, look at that. Let's give her a taste. That is ridiculous. You have the sweetness from the lobster, the sweetness of the calamari, the crunch of the breadcrumb coating. This is so good. You have to make this. If you want the recipe to my stuffed calamari, just comment the word recipe in the comment section below and I'll be sure to send it to your DM. Thanks so much for hanging out. Bye.